What's up, boys? So I want to talk about a common notion that is in the whole fitness circle in general, which is how often should you actually train? Like how many days should you go to the gym? How many days should you exercise and lift weights and like all this other stuff? I'm gonna tell you guys first of all that as somebody who has been on both sides, who has been on where I lifted weights like every single day, and I also have been at a point where I've only lifted like 2 at most 3 times a week. I'm gonna tell you guys my personal point of view of it. So I like to think of it like this: our body has a tank. It has a tank of energy that it has, and a lot of the times the problem with training to maximum intensity, like because let's imagine that you're trying to follow the model that everyone's telling you to push to failure every workout. If you're doing that every single day, like you're going to the gym every single day, eventually this tank of energy is going to diminish, and then now you're just going to the gym and you're not making any progress. This is why rest days are important. What I'm saying right now, I don't know, there's some dog over there. What I'm saying right now is not that you can't train every day, but you need to think smart about it. In terms of weightlifting, every single day, then that's probably not conducive if you're actually trying to make consistent progress and you're trying to take your workouts to failure. Now, if you did lower the intensity, now theoretically, if you do lower the intensity, maybe not all of your workouts are to failure. Maybe like only like 1 or 2 of your workouts, you take one of the sets to failure. But if you do this while also, like I said, lowering the intensity, maybe lowering the weight, then yes, you can probably make substantial progress in the future. But what I think is a better way to do it. Now, if you're wanting to consistently make progress, what's personally worked for me is honestly training minimally when it comes to weightlifting. But this is the kicker here: is on the other days I do other stuff. Like the current training that I do right now, I only lift weights 2 at most 3 times a week. But on the other days, I do stuff like boxing. I do stuff like runs. Like I do other sorts of exercises outside of it. I do yoga. I do a lot of other stuff outside of weightlifting. Now, if you're somebody who is a diehard who's a diehard like strength training person, who loves to lift weights, who loves to do that, then by all means go. But if I'm telling you from a scientific point of view, you need to lower your intensity so you're not going to the gym every single day and not making any progress. Because eventually, I've been in that point of view. I've been in that perspective, I should say, where I would train every single day and I would try to take my sets to failure. But then I would be walking around just being exhausted because I was burning up my tank. I was burning up my tank of energy, my natural tank of energy. And because of that, I had no energy throughout the day. And honestly, I stayed like I did not make any progress. So I'll tell you to caution yourself that if you're going to train every day, that you are smart about it and you don't take everything to failure so you're not burning up your gas. You're burning up your tank of energy. Now, let's say you're not a strength training. Maybe you just want to do something every single day. Maybe you're like me, you have to move around and do something in the given day. Then I would recommend you start to like diversify your stuff. Like first of all, if you're not already, pick up a martial art. Pick up some sort of martial. It can be jujitsu, karate, boxing, whatever. Some sort of fighting, because I'm gonna tell you guys that I already made a video previously about what happens when we as men learn how to fight. But really, whenever you're getting out and exercising, you are really just like building a lot more confidence in your mind. Like obviously, weightlifting is great. It's great for making yourself bigger, make yourself have more confidence. But being able to do martial arts, it's just a whole nother like ball game, bro. Now, you can do martial arts, you can do running, you can do some sort of sport, but I'd recommend that you find something else that you do that you love that's physical. Because we're not just trying to lift weights. Like if you're watching this, you're probably not just lifting and getting big just because you want to be big. You just love working out like me. You're probably like me. You just love working out. And so I'll tell you guys, just find the given things that you like doing. Find the things that, you know, you can wake up and you can just go out. Like I love to wake up and just go on a run. I love to wake up and just go boxing. Just find some way to make it a habit. Like diversify it so you're training other aspects of your body. Like for instance, I train yoga. Like before I go to bed, I do yoga. I do 20 minutes of yoga before I go to bed. While I also still weightlift, I also still do boxing. I do running. Just the biggest concern that you should have is to not be like overexerting certain parts. Like I said, with weightlifting, don't try to weightlift every single day with this really high intensity. But really, the biggest thing is just find what works for you. Find what works for you that, you know, keeps you energized, what keeps you making progress, and really what feels good. Like, that's the whole point of exercising. So I will say, yes, you absolutely can train every single day. You absolutely can. Find what works for you. Maybe you figure out that, you know what, I love to weightlift every single day. Going to the gym every single day and the training that I do, I feel fucking amazing. Some people are like that. Absolutely. If that's what makes you feel good, then just fucking do it, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what I'm not gonna sit you tell you what works for you. You know what works for you. So maybe you like to weightlift every day. Maybe you like to do what I do, weightlift, boxing, other sorts of training on other given days. But really, I find that whenever I actually do something physical on a given day, I feel much better. I feel like a better person whenever I actually like am getting my training in, when I'm doing some sort of training on a given day. So, like I said, find what works for you, but you can absolutely fucking train every day, bro. I think honestly, all of us should find some way to train every single day, and not just lay on our couch all day. Go on a walk, go on a run, go hang out with your friends, go box, like go do something, bro. Like, we are meant to move around. That's all I have for you boys.